Hey, what's going on? It's JJ and
Tiny.
And thanks for joining us on the Hayes Wire. Special guest today. Something that you've been hearing about ever since the Ice Bucket Challenge. For most of us, that's when we first became familiar with ALS. So we say hello to Cheyenne Layton. Hi, Cheyenne.
Hi, how are you doing?
Excellent. Thanks for joining us today because we have a lot to learn. You have an event coming up, a walk. We're going to learn about ALS a little bit and maybe educate ourselves on what it is. And we want to talk about some of the research that's happening. We want to revisit the Ice Bucket Challenge. But first, I want to get to your story. You have sort of a personal connection with ALS. So tell us about your uncle.
That I do. In November of 2008, my uncle was diagnosed with ALS. He was a singer-songwriter, and his band here locally, Against the Grain, and it first started out up here in his mouth. So that was the first thing to go, was his voice. So inevitably, it took away his dream of music, where then my dad stepped in and became the lead singer of the band. Got to sing all of Uncle Kurt's originals and keep that live and whatnot. He lost his battle in May of 2011, so just 2.5 years that he fought this disease. And ever since then, it has been my goal to live on in his legacy, fight the fight, and whereas some people stray away from the disease and what takes their loved ones away, I had the urge to continue on the fight. And in 2014, I was given the opportunity to start working at the association on the admin side, and I was very excited about that. I had been a stay-at-home mom for 3 years. I have a 4-year-old daughter, and so I was excited to get into the workforce and not only that, but be involved with something that I'm so passionate about. So just here recently, I was promoted to the fundraising position now, where I am hands-on with walk and all that goes in with the walk, and I love it. I love it, and it's not just a job to me. It's not just a paycheck. It really is. My heart is in it. And when I first started, my Uncle Kurt was my why, per se. He was the reason why I got up and went to work and pushed for a fight and tried to fund and bring in dollars. But now I have so many whys. I've met so many people, amazing people who continue to show us why we do what we do is so important. And it's so funny because, we, the ones who aren't suffering with the disease, seem to try and be so positive for our clients who are suffering.
Right. When
in all reality, they have the most positive and, go-getter mindset, and they're just living it.
You mentioned just a second ago the walk, your role in it. When is it? How can people get involved?
Absolutely. Our walk this year in Wichita is September 17th at the waterfront, and they can start a team, they can join a team, they can become a virtual fundraiser. Just go to our website at www.walktodefeatals.org, or feel free to call me at the office, 316-612-0188, and I'd be more than happy to get people started.
We've heard a lot about ALS in recent years thanks to the Ice Bucket Challenge. I think that's gone a long way to educate people a little bit more. I've been reading stories about how that actually was successful in the development of some gene therapies toward the continued search for a cure for ALS. But give us a breakdown, layman's terms, if you will, on ALS and how it attacks the body.
Right. ALS is a neurodegenerative disease, so it affects the nerve cells in the brain and the spinal cord. I can sit here and say all these big words and tell people what it does, but there's truly no definition or explanation unless you've been in those shoes. And I think me personally, being on that side of the disease, there's no way to explain it. It
robs you of the person you
absolutely.
once were.
Absolutely. And your mind is still the same, so you understand and you comprehend what all is going on, and you're just trapped. You're ultimately trapped in your body, So my uncle, when he was first diagnosed, he had an 8-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old son. And just recently, my cousin, the daughter, who is now 16, came up to me and said, when my dad first got diagnosed, I thought, oh, okay, he's just going to have to take medicine for the rest of his life. He'll just be on a machine. She said, I didn't know that it would take him from me only when I was 10. So there's not enough words to describe what ALS does. It's heartbreaking. It's truly heartbreaking.
Finding a cure is certainly super important. I have a friend, James, who currently has ALS, and he and his wife Misty are going through the exact challenges you're talking about, and it's hard to watch. But I'm going to go along with your point. It is inspiring to watch too, because James and Misty, what they're going through, really are my heroes as far as how strong they are through this whole process. So
Absolutely.
September 17th, the waterfront.
Yes.
The walk, all the information, you want to sign up. Now, do you still need, we know we need walkers, but sponsors, if someone wanted to become a sponsor, any last minute room for sponsors?
Oh, absolutely. We're always looking for getting people in the community involved, and currently we have over $40,000 just in community sponsorships, and that's huge. It makes the awareness. And I'll go back to the Ice Bucket Challenge now. That was a huge ordeal, where people thought it was just a bucket of cold water dumping on your head. The awareness that brought to the association was unbelievable. Overall, the association brought in $115 million from that.
Wow.
And here locally, it was about $1.3 million. And yeah, that went a long ways.
Day of walk.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of fun things can people expect to see or be able to experience?
We have a DJ who comes out. And we have bounce houses, we have face painting, we have fire trucks, we have policemen out there. Jimmy John's sponsors and donates a whole bunch of sandwiches. We have Hertz Donuts and their vehicle coming out. Yeah,
Yep.
That's always a big hit. Panera Bread, so many just little sponsors here and there. And it really is a day for all of us to gather who have the same hope and the same dream to tackle this disease. It's just one big ALS family, just one big community.
Back to the bouncy houses. If we take off our shoes, any chance,
Oh,
Tiny,
absolutely.
Tiny, you in?
I'm in.
Okay, all right. All right, so this is going to be a lot of fun. September 17th, all the links, everything you need to find out how you can sponsor, to find out how you can create a team, walk by yourself, raise a bunch of money, be a virtual fundraiser. It's all going to be on this blog. Start clicking, start getting signed up, and help one day find a cure for ALS. Cheyenne, thank you so much for joining Tiny and myself
thank you
today.
guys so much.
Thank you.
Good luck on your walk.
Thank you.